Now for the overly talkative ones, the class clowns, and the ones with attitude. These might overlap with the advanced ones and the ones who rush you, but essentially, for these guys, it's very important that you use humor. I can't stress how important it is that you try to make them laugh and that you listen to them if they're trying to make you laugh and try to laugh along with it. So just because I was talking about Ding Ding most recently, I'm going to tell a little bit of a joke that he started one of my classes with. I never have to think of a warm-up activity for him because he always brings something to start the class with, be it a joke or a story to tell me. But this particular joke, he said, teacher, all right, imagine you are on a desert island. There is no food, no water, no planes, and sharks are everywhere. How do you get off the island? I don't know, Ding Ding. How do you get off the island? Just stop imagining you're there. Oh, Ding Ding. I love that dad joke. I'm all about dad jokes. I might have made a weird face there, but I laughed really hard, and I hope that you're laughing too, because it's little things like this that actually make you really proud of your students because of the clever wordplay, because of the fact that they're using this creative, critical thinking skill, and they're using language to try to make you laugh and express themselves in this way. So always give them the opportunity to make you laugh because you're going to be really pleasantly surprised with that. Do keep track of time though, because these students will love to run away with it, just like I was mentioning before with the other students, and sometimes they will physically run away from you. But sometimes you need to make a judgment call on how long it's going to take for you to reel them back in and how long it would take to do what they want to do in the first place. So for example, you might be wondering about this picture here. This is my wonderful student David, who I've had from the very beginning, my very first set of classes, and every single semester since. Now he is somewhere between a class clown and a really distracted one, which we'll talk about in the last batch of students. But essentially what he said is, teacher, I can climb the walls. And I could have been like, no, sit down, let's do our lesson, but instead I said, really? Show me. And so he went and he climbed the door frame, and I took a screenshot, and it was over in about 30 seconds. If I hadn't let him do that, he probably would have kept saying, I can climb the walls, or trying to expend his energy in different ways throughout the entire lesson. But because I acknowledged, allowed, and brought back in within 30 seconds, it managed my time, and it also made it just a little more fun in the classroom because I was able to engage the student in a way that maybe a typical classroom wouldn't have allowed. Just beware of highly energetic TPR. So David is a great example of that. If I'm like, David, you look like you have a lot of energy in your system. Let's do some jumping jacks and get it out. That is just going to supersize him. It would be like a hurricane meeting another hurricane and supersizing into something just devastating. So just make sure that with these guys, you tone it down a little bit. They're probably going to do most of like the energetic TPR for you. Get them involved with the TPR in the lesson, but don't have them do like crazy stuff. That's the only warning, just for your sake. Essentially, though, it's most important that you don't get angry with these students. So David, I've had since I began. He has a lot of behavior problems, but I've tried a whole varying method and ways to get him engaged in the class and listen to me and enjoy the classes, as well as try to discipline. And every time I've tried anything that's more authoritative and disciplining, David, sit down, we have to do our lesson now, something like that, it doesn't work. So getting angry, he who angers you controls you, as my wonderful little comic here says. And he definitely knows that, and it just makes him sad at the end of the day because all he wants to do is either make me laugh or share the creative things that he's done throughout the day. If the behavior is really, really bad, and I've done this many times with him, put polite comments in the feedback about their behavior problems. I'm lucky with his mom. We talk sometimes before class as he's like running around the house and she's like, I'm sorry, he'll be here soon. But she knows his situation, and she's very good about talking to him outside of class. So you can hope that your parents are going to be similar to that, and it'll be very helpful for you if you just slide the comments in there in your written feedback.